Perfect.
Yeah, good evening all, and thank you very much for taking your time on a Sunday evening and participating in this important speaker meeting. And I'm sure this is going to be very, very useful for you and a very well spent Sunday, because this is not only for uh, uh, one age category. This is applicable for all the age categories, from the children, from right from children all the way till uh, um, adults, and also the senior citizens as well. So the topic is very, very important and also very good for all of us as well. So without taking much time, so I would like to request the President, Mr. Ramesh, of our Rotary Club of Chennai IT City, and their team, and also the Roypeta club members, and also the other Interact and Rotaract club members, and also the other guests. So with this, shall we have a collaring of President Reggie as well as Ramesh? Okay, thank you very much.
And
Reggie, you're on mute, Reggie.
Okay.
Thank you.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Rotary Club of Roypeta and Rotary Club of Chennai IT City speaker meeting call to order.
Yeah, thank you very much, Reggie. So can I now request upon Annette Sachita to render her invocation song? Annette Sachita, so you need to unmute yourself.
Yeah.
So can I start?
Thank you.
Can I start?
Yeah, you can, Sachita.
நீராறும் கடலுடைந்த நிலமடைந்த சீராரும் வதனமினார் திகழ்பரத தெக்கணமும் மதிசிறந்த திராவிடனல் நாடும் தக்க சிறு பிறை முதலும் தரித்தனரும் திலகமுமே அத்திலக வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுறா எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெருந்தமிழனெங்கே தமிழனெங்கே உன் சீரிலமை திறம்பியந்து செயல் மறந்து வாழ்த்ததுமே வாழ்த்ததுமே வாழ்த்ததுமே.
Yeah, thank you, Sachit. That was a wonderful invocation of Tamil Thai Varthu. Thank you very much. And now let me invite upon the President of Rotary Club of Roypeta, Reggie, for the welcome address.
Thank you so much, Subbu. Am I audible?
Your voice is a little bit feeble, Reggie, so you might have to be a little bit louder.
Okay. Am I audible now? Is it a little better?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, it's better now.
Okay. Thank you so much. A warm welcome to Rotarians, aunts, Annettes of Rotary Club of Roypeta, and our good friends from Chennai IT City also. Warm welcome to our Rotractors, invited guests who have joined us for this session. Someone very famously said, each of us are like a walking billboard, and you want to look good to everyone who's actually watching. That is where grooming fits into it. And today we have with us an awesome speaker who would touch upon this particular topic with elan and ease. Without much further ado, as much as all of you are waiting to listen to Miss Asha, I'm also looking forward to hearing from her. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Reggie. So thanks for your welcome address, and I would like to invite upon Mr. Ramesh, President of RC Chennai IT City, to introduce the speaker of the day, Asha Daniel.
Thank you, MC and Secretary Subbu sir. Thanks a lot. Before I introduce, let me just say a few words. Thanks to my good friend Reggie for giving us this fantastic opportunity of listening to Asha Daniel, a subject which, as Subbu very clearly said, is much useful, and it is the order of the day. In fact, you would listen from her, the expert. It is applicable. It is useful to every age group. And so that's exactly why we have requested some of our ANETs and as well as our Rotary Club members, and about 5-6 of our members have already joined. And I hope people also will be trickling in now. With these few words, once again, let me thank all the members of RC Chennai IT City, including my secretary, Venkateswaran, for joining. Thanks, Pandyapan sir, Murugapani sir, thanks, Satya sir, for taking your time off, especially when today morning we had a weekly meeting. Again, in the evening, we are having this joint meeting. Thanks for joining. And also the president of our Rotary Club, Yogesh, thanks for joining. So with these few words, let me have the pleasure of introducing the speaker of the day, Asha Daniel. Am I audible, first of all?
Yeah, very much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Because Asha Daniel, a certified image coach, personal branding, and corporate consultant, has about 21 years of corporate experience with many multinational organizations in leadership positions. She has long been fascinated by the power of image and the way people can use their personal brand to positively influence their own career. Having spent years observing, supporting, and influencing people's career, she today dedicates her time and efforts in helping people and their organizational persona to evolve. Asha leads dynamic training and workshop for professionals, young adults, one-to-one consultation, corporate trainings on soft skills, communication, ethics, body language, time management, goal setting, positive self-esteem, public speaking and presentation skills, interview skills, power dressing, professional presence, emotional intelligence, influencing skills. Wow, the list goes. Asha is a corporate consultant and a mentor for directors and MDs of a few organizations, and is an executive trainer for Luxury Academy London, representing South India. Training is conducted for clients from several industries such as IT, safety and training, education, coal, publishing, oil manufacturing, ITES, hospital, pharmaceutical, automotive, etc. As a Rotarian, she has held leadership positions in the club and district level and spends her spare time in social service. Currently, she is the Women Empowerment Associate Chair for the Chennai district. She is a Pink Ambassador for India Turns Pink, an NGO that spreads awareness on breast cancer. She is a National Council member and Program Director of WICCI Handloom, Women's Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry. She has to her credit professional certification, Image Consultant Partner Program, Achieving Personal Success. And also she has a professional qualification, Diploma in Psychology, course in Relationship Counseling, Coaching and Counseling, and BSc Computer Science. So with this introduction, now let me present to you Mrs. Asha Daniel. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much, President Ramesh. When Reggie asked me to send my profile, I did send, but I didn't mean that you have to read the whole thing. I'm sure you would have got both.
No. It is my pleasure to do that and my honor to do that.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So what I'll be doing is I will just be sharing my screen on one of the laptops, okay? I mean, on one of my gadgets, and I'll be speaking on my phone. So warm good evening to everyone. I'm so happy that all of you took out your time today evening, on a Sunday evening, to come and listen to me. And I'm going to borrow the words that Reggie just mentioned, walking billboard. Okay, I never knew this word before. So I would have used that as the words that we could have used for our invite. It sounds interesting. Okay, so walking billboard. So I'll touch upon this and how I explain to you how you all can be your walking billboard. So I hope all of you are looking forward to this, and we're going to spend the next 30 to 40 minutes just trying to understand. It's not something new that you may hear. Some things maybe you already know, some things maybe you're going to hear new, some things maybe you know, but you need to unlearn and relearn, you know. So every day in our life is a day of learning, is what I say. So personal grooming is what I'm going to talk to you about. See, I have a habit of generally having an interactive session. Unfortunately, Zoom prevents us from doing that, right? So I request you that during the course of my session, in case I do ask for an answer to be given, what you can do is you can just type the answer in the chat box. Is that fine with you? Okay, I think everyone's audio has been
sure. Yeah, sure. So we'll also be moderating it later on in case afterwards. I think the questions whatever is going to be asked.
Yeah, just give me 1 minute. Yeah. Is the screen seen?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So if I ask you to name any individual that has got a charismatic personality, whom can you name? Can anyone just come up with a name? You can even unmute and just say it out, no problem.
Kapil Dev.
We have Modi.
Okay, Kapil Dev.
Modi.
Okay.
Jayalalitha.
Okay. So, I'm sorry?
Smriti Irani.
Okay. So, different people come up with different names, okay? And I'm sure all these personalities will continue to motivate others and inspire others. But what do you think is attracting us to such personalities? What attracts you all to such personalities?
As far as Kapil Dev is concerned, he's a leader by example. He shows the way.
Okay.
He doesn't demand people without he performing at the topmost level. He bats, he bowls, he fields, he is a good captain. He won the first World Cup for India. What more does one want? He has inspired me as a person.
Okay. So, great. So most of these personalities mentioned have something in common, which is, let's say, they all have sounding very confident. They exude confidence, right? And they're also very positive. Probably they are good listeners. And everyone likes to be around them because they give some kind of an energy which you would look to connect with. Am I right? Okay. So let's say now you're having an office and you're having an urgent meeting coming up, which is an unplanned meeting. A client is coming, it's a critical meeting, and you have two team members who've come to the office. Both of them are equally qualified, excellent in work. Whom would you prefer to go and attend this meeting? You can just say the first or the second.
The first one.
The first one. Okay. Now let's move forward, and let's say you're very, very hungry. Okay. You're so hungry and you go to a restaurant and the last bowls of noodles is kept in front of you and you're so hungry. Which one will you pick up?
Noodles.
Yeah. That's the only thing that's left. So both are noodles. So which one will you pick up? I'm sorry, I'm unable to see chat. So I'm just trying to figure out how to get the chat on.
Second, they said second.
Red color noodles.
I'll pick up something which is appealing.
So the second one
is very appealing.
Sorry, you were saying something?
Second one.
Something is very appealing.
Second one is very appealing. So what did you all do just now? You first chose, the lady who was dressed up in a good jacket, and the second one, you chose a more appealing, bowl of noodles. So what did you actually do?
Appearance.
What do you think you did just now?
We judge by appearance.
Repeat that, please.
We judge by appearance, whichever is appealing, and
you went by appearance. Okay. So what is that?
A charming appearance.
What is that?
Charming appearance.
No, you make yourself presentable.
It's a psychological meaning. It's a psychological feeling.
You're right. So what you did was actually you formed an impression based on what you saw, right?
Yeah.
Exactly what you said is right. So even if it comes to food, I told you are very food. So even if it is, it's only food, and food is a basic necessity of our life, right? But even What we want is someone serving something to us that is neat and that is appealing to us. Okay, because visually we first satisfy our hunger, only then we actually take it in. If it is not neat, believe me, we will not be interested in eating it. You may even lose your appetite. So you actually form impression based on what was appealing to you and what was right. Now, when you go to any place, especially since we have protractors, we have ANETs over here, even for the people who are professional, let me tell you that a story, okay? This is actually based on a study done by Oregon State University. There were a set of candidates who had come in for an interview. Typically what happens in an interview, 20 minutes to 30 minutes is an interview, am I right? So what these people did was they recorded that interview. And they had trained evaluators who were evaluating them on their body language, appearance, and how they present themselves, etc. And they were asked to mark them on these 5-6 parameters, which was given to them. After that, they took that video clipping and they reduced it to just 20 seconds. And in the 20 seconds, they only kept the candidate walking into the office, greeting the interviewer, and sitting down. That's about it. Okay, so 20 seconds of that clipping was taken and it was given to another set of evaluators and they were told, watch this clipping and evaluate on the same parameters. You won't believe it. The 30-minute interview and 20-second interview gave the same results. Okay, so the candidates that were chosen by the people who were seen the clipping in 20 seconds and the candidates that were chosen after 30 minutes of interview, very similar. So what it proves is that if the first 20 seconds of your initial meeting is actually done well, if you presented yourself very well, the next, going to a banker who's dressed like this or having someone like this doing a surgery for you, right? You just might faint on the, table. So that's how we all are, okay? So, but once this person is like dressed up in the right manner and is well groomed, can you see the kind of respect and the credibility that they carry? You're able to see the difference?
Yes. Yes. Because of difference in dressing.
Attire which is needed for their profession, right?
Right.
So when you meet someone for the first time, this is exactly what happens. Where we feel that, oh, I'm all about knowledge, but the knowledge is not really seen on you. Sometimes, at times, people don't really understand you have that knowledge or not. You need to actually carry that message. Believe me, you are always communicating some message or the other. There is something interesting. I don't know whether all of you have seen this before or not, but when you meet someone for the first time, what percentage out of 100 will you give for the words that come out of the mouth? And what percentage will you give for the tone of voice and how the person speaks? And how much will you give for a facial expression? Let's see your guesses. Reggie, you can tell me your guesses.
Unmute, Reggie.
Unless Reggie is toggling between two Zoom. This is how I catch people.
Words possibly 15%, sound maybe 5%. The rest would be the expressions or the body language or the visual symbolisms.
Okay, so that is 5, correct. 15, 5, and 80, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's anyone else want to
I would
volunteer?
probably take it on a parallel, like 35 and the rest on that, because words that you say at a certain tone has a different meaning. And so both of them parallelly matter. And when the tone changes, your expression on the face also changes.
Who saying that? Yeah, okay. I didn't get the name of the person. Okay, fine. No problem.
Shaji.
Okay, so anyone else wants? I would like to hear it from a protractor or an ANET.
So words you say is 75%. Then it is 10, 85, and 15.
75, 10, and 15.
Yeah. Words first you say is 75, 10, and 15.
And we have Sirmalai saying 50, 10, and 40.
Sorry, repeat that, please.
50, 10, and 40 from Rotarian Sirmalai.
Okay.
And we have from Adav is 40, 30, and 10.
I would say first 15, and for next one say 35 and the rest most for facial expression.
And we have Rotarian Manjula who says 20, 10, and 18. 80.
Yeah.
20,
I
10,
am Satyanarayan. The words you say 30.
Okay.
Voice is 60 and expression 10.
And 10. Okay, great. So we've got quite a few combinations. I have this habit of writing it down. So we try to have combinations. So let's see exactly. Okay. So let's see what it is actually. Okay. So the word. Can we just mute everyone?
Yeah.
Speaking, you may just mute yourself so that we can have without disruptions. Okay.
Ashaji, I'm muting everyone now. You can unmute yourself.
Ma'am, you need to unmute yourselves.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you. So the words are 7%, the voice is 38%, and 55 is the expression. Okay, I'll explain to you how. Suppose a person is walking into the room. The first thing you see is the person, how the person appears. Then the person starts speaking. It's about how the person sounds. Okay, like for example, let's take me. Okay, I've come in here today. I've come in and I took the effort to wear something formal, and I'm sitting here in front of you. But it's a Sunday evening, so I decided to play it with colors, and I had to put on a evening color. Okay, and I'm speaking to you. I'm speaking with good energy, voice intonation, and I'm sounding probably interesting to you. Okay. Now, at the same time, let me put it this way, that I prepare really well and I come in just, my home clothes, and I sit over here and I sound really very bored. I say, good evening, everyone. So today we're going to learn about grooming and how we need to go about grooming ourselves. So this is one way I can speak, and I have good content with me, but believe me, I'm telling you, Eurotrackers will be the first one, and the analysts will say, oh, this is so boring, why didn't you please call me for this meeting? So it's all about how you present yourself. Only if you present yourself well, you will actually start even listening to that person. We've all gone to, let's say meetings or lectures or places where there are speaker meetings where after some time my mind just zones out. That's because the person is not interesting enough. It's not sounding interesting. The content may be great. Okay. Now, that does not mean that you only dress up really well. You've got a great voice, but you don't prepare for your content. No, it doesn't work for you. So if it is 7 out of 100 for your words, you need to get at least 6 out of 7 on that. You need to really prepare very well. Okay. At the same time, you need to practice how you speak. You need to look in front of the mirror. You need to maybe even record your voice and see how it sounds. You need to know when to stress and when not to stress, when to pause, when not to pause, and your tone of voice need to change depending on what you're trying to convey. So your 7% is very important, 38% has its own importance, and definitely it is 55% that carries the maximum weightage. Now, other than facial expression, you say, why only facial expression? No, 55% is not just your facial expression. Okay, it's much more than that. And this study is actually called the communication framework. It was a study done by a very popular psychologist by the name of Professor Albert Mehrabian. He did this study across gender and across different age group and found this is actually common, that we all look at everything visually first. Believe me, when you go to see a house, when you go to buy your vegetables, when you go to buy clothes, you don't just go and buy and just come up without really spending time. Visually, it has to be appealing to you, otherwise you don't go ahead. Okay, so your expression is 55%, but it's not just only expression. Let's see what else is there. What else can we see other than expression? Those of you who want to answer can just unmute, answer and go back on mute, please. What else can we see when you see a person other than expression?
Attire.
Attire, great, wonderful. So that is your attire. What else? See, there are so many, 3, 4 I've put over there.
A smile in the face.
Okay, smile with the face. Can we call it as body language?
Body language, yeah.
Okay, great. So attire, body language, what else?
The gait.
Mannerism.
There was someone saying before mannerism. What is that?
Confidence.
Confidence. Okay, great. Confidence. Yes, that shows in your body language. But mannerism. Can I club it as grooming?
Sure.
Yeah, grooming.
No. Etiquette. Okay. What else?
Behavior.
Gracefulness.
Gracefulness. Okay. What? Let's discuss about that. What is gracefulness?
That is not showing your face or something rude or like that.
Okay, that comes under etiquette then. Okay. One last point is there. Most important point. I even gave it off by mistake, but the word came out of my mouth. So body language, clothing, and the next topic, what we are talking about, grooming. You missed this, okay? And etiquette. So when a person is, let's say, going to a get-together or going for a meeting or wherever, this is what comes out first when you see. We talk about vibes and we talk about, sometimes we're not able to connect well with a person. He may be a nice person or she may be a nice person. It's because of these things, okay? Somehow our mind is ticking off and crossing off people. We are like that. That's the way we are wired. That's the way we are made. So your body language, clothing, grooming, and your etiquette, which is your mannerism, is a part of that 55%. Have you ever wondered why are we like this? Why are we so particular about visuals? Why? Think. Why are we like this? Why do you think we are like this? Why do we give more importance to that 55%?
Eyes closer to the brain, connecting quickly.
No, that's what.
Good. That's a good point. But why?
That's what you observe first. What you see is your first observation.
Yeah. We believe just when you see only.
Light travels much faster than anything else.
Okay, all of you right. But why is he like this?
That's
why?
what we are being taught.
We believe. We believe just by seeing it.
Okay.
Believe by seeing it.
First impression or faces index of mind or whatever we could say that.
Okay. The reason is because our human memory, it is photographic. We remember. Someone said already visuals. Okay, our recall is much faster. Visual recall. When we studied in school, we never had something called a smart board. Okay, but now if you look at it, most of the schools have a smart board. All their books have a lot of pictures and they have a lot of practicals and activities. Okay, this is what I see in my children's school, that they have a lot of practical and activities because that's what the recall is. Let's say I invite you all to a get-together, okay? And I introduce you to 4 or 5 people, and you all have a good time at the get-together, and you all go to your respective houses. And let's say after 6 months, you all go to EA Mall, and you happen to see someone, and you remember, you know what? I've seen this person somewhere, but I am not able to remember his name. Has it occurred to us? Any of you? Yes. Because see, our recall when it comes to what we see is faster than what we hear. Okay, so please remember that we cannot change the fact that 55% is the importance. Naturally, we do right from the time we are babies. Okay, that's how we are wired. We can't change it. Only God probably can change it, and I don't think the change is going to come in anytime now. Okay. Now, when you combine all of this, actually, 80% somehow we make impression based on the visuals. Research says that, within a matter of 12 seconds, actually, we form certain decisions about people. If the person is reliable, if the person is credible, if the person is trustworthy, if the person is, let's say, knowledgeable, dependable, if the person is very rigid, if the person is flexible, if the person is approachable, all of these things actually, research says, only within the first 12 seconds, they kind of arrive at a decision. So 7 to 12 is actually to form an impression, okay? And 12 to 20 is to make a decision or a judgment based on what we saw, okay? Appearance is actually clothing, grooming, body language, and your mannerism. We are going to dwell a little more on grooming today because that's the topic, and of course about clothing as well, because you cannot be groomed without having clothing. All right. actually appearance is image, and that's why for being imaging or making an image or etc. But in one way, if you look at it, we are all forming an image in the minds of people. Okay, so let's look at clothing now. Many of us think, oh my God, clothing is an expensive proposition. You know, I have to spend so much money on clothing. But believe me, if you know how to shop for your clothes, it will be only an investment. You'll be picking out pieces the way you pick out pieces for your home decor. Okay, you need to understand that you are your walking billboard. Yes, Reggie? Right? So you have to ensure that you don't have to go and pick up expensive clothes. Believe me, that's not what I'm talking about. Okay, you need to know what to wear, when to wear, and how to wear. So what we say is that whenever there are 4 A's to an image, okay, there are 4 A's to an image. You need to be dressed appropriately, you need to be authentic, you need to be attractable, and of course your clothing need to be affordable. Now affordable does not mean that you go pick it up from a Pondi Bazaar or from the streets. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is value for money. Like if you buy something, it should be lasting for you at least for a few years. Otherwise it is not affordable. All right, you can just keep changing clothes every, now and then, every 3 months. You can't just buy a new set of wardrobe. Your wardrobe should last for a few years, and that's called smart buying. So remember these 4 A's. You need to be appropriate, you need to be authentic, affordable, and attractive. Okay. Now, if you look at it, whether you're sleeping, whether you're sitting, whether you're walking, whether you're going for a formal meeting, you're always communicating. Today, if I sit over here and even if I doze off, I am actually communicating. There is no way that you are not communicating. Let's say I'm dozing off. The maximum message that I'm going to send out is either I'm sick or I'm tired or I'm bored, right? So you're all the time communicating. Since I know in Rotary meetings, you cannot speak for more than 20 minutes. I've really cut and made this as precise as possible, but still try to bring in as much information out, okay? So that people can start thinking today about how you carry yourself. It's very, very important, okay? So communication is all the time happening, whether you're sleeping, whether you're sitting, walking, whether you're wearing good clothes or whether you're not wearing good clothes. There's nothing such as, okay, I'm just wearing something plain, that's fine. No. All right. So as I told you earlier, judgments and decisions are made based on, certain impressions people form about you. So these are some of the examples of messages that your body is conveying across to people. Okay, what is the most common language? Can anyone tell me? What is the most common language in the world?
Mother tongue.
English.
I would say thank you, Shai. Sorry?
Casual language.
No, whichever is convenient.
Casually you can speak.
Smile.
Body language.
Confidently to speak.
English language.
Mother tongue.
Okay.
Body language.
You would go for body language.
Body language.
Body language.
Who said that?
Body language. I said
Body language.
Very good, great. Good audience, and I think you're very brilliant. That's great. This is the common language. No, I think you're tired of me. Is it someone muted me? Okay, so what I was saying was body language is the most common language. Do you know that animals even today communicate only through body language? Okay, we human beings have evolved to different languages and words, etc. But once upon a time, years and years ago, we also communicated through body language. And that is the reason why 55% is given importance, because we are like that. Okay, we read people, we sense people. It's all through body language. All right. So let's focus more on the art of looking smart. Okay, what is your image and what is your grooming? Now, if I told you about image and image management, so image is actually the mental picture the opposite person carries about you in their mind. Please understand this very clearly. So image is nothing but the picture they have about you. Okay, and that picture somehow remains in the mind for a long time. Now, where is this given more importance when the person across you is meeting for the first time or is working with you, or you need to get an approval from that person maybe for your career growth. When you have, let's say, a set of 100 people sitting there and there are only 2 vacancies and you're going for an interview and you need to have an edge over everyone else, that's where image plays a big role. Okay, so please remember this, that your personal grooming is a large part of your image. Okay, so I've just written down a few things about what personal grooming is. Actually, it's about how you take care of yourself. If you love yourself, you will take care of yourself. If you take care of yourself, everyone else will learn to appreciate you, and that's exactly how they will actually treat you, or they will behave with you. Okay, you cannot blame others if they do not respect you. Now, I've given some examples over here of people who generally we see when we go for meetings. Sadly, I see this quite often. I'm sure even all of you see this, right? Where I know we're living in Chennai city, we cannot avoid perspiration, but we can avoid clothes that show the perspiration. Okay, just remember these tips. Something on the darker side and white and very light side don't really show perspiration. But if you have, if you perspire too much, then you can always go and meet a dermatologist and find out why you do. But perspiration is important. Please understand, it's very important for our body. That's one mechanism the body uses to keep it cool. So please understand, perspiration is important, but we don't have to show to everyone that we perspire. Okay, so please understand, this is something to be avoided, especially when you are in an office environment. I don't think anyone would appreciate to be around a person who is profusely perspiring and the perspiration is seen. And the second picture, also something which I've seen very often is, we feel, oh, okay, I will get into the shirt somehow, or maybe in a few weeks time I'm going to lose weight, so I'm not going to buy a new shirt. But no, I don't think you should do that, because this is not what we want to see, right? We don't want, we call this as, fish mouth. We don't want to see these fish mouths. We would like to see the shirt buttons, whether it is for a woman or for a man, it should be actually secured and in place. Actually, in fact, there are special sessions on clothing. I'm just touching a little bit here and there. Now, if you look at this gentleman here, he's got, very long nails. I don't think that's really appreciated too. I've seen people sometimes having nails just on one finger or on the thumb. I think those need to be avoided in a professional setting. Now, if you look at the last, I put, 3 gentlemen showing off their socks. Which is the right pair of socks one can wear to the office? Or any 2 or any 1 or whatever. What do you all feel? The first one, second one, third one?
The first one, which is the same color. So sometimes it has to be, combination needs to be right. So between what your pant and your shoe and also the socks.
Okay. But what about the second and the third one?
Third one is also okay if it is coordinated with the white shirt.
Okay. For some reason, okay. Let me just teach you one small thing then, okay, just to clear all the doubts. Please remember this, that your socks is an extension of your trousers, okay? So it's always good to have the socks and the trouser or your pants having a matching color, okay? Also, gentlemen, please listen to this. You can look taller if you're wearing the same color. Okay, the last thing you want is when you sit up, your trouser goes up, and there you can see your, different colored socks, and sometimes your socks is not well maintained and it's slipping down, or we can see the hair on your leg. We don't want to do that. Okay, so remember to wear your socks has to be the same color as your trousers. Yes, in India, ma'am, there are, and someone said white socks is fine. Actually, it's not fine. If it is fine only with maybe chinos or something casual like a denim, white is perfect for those. Okay, you can even wear other colors, no problem. But when it comes to formal, no whites, no whites. Unless you want to wear white trousers, please do not wear whites. Whites are a no-no when it comes to socks. Children can wear them to school, but I think adults shouldn't wear them to office. Okay. On Fridays and Saturdays, if you're working and you wear denims or you wear khakis, please don't hesitate to wear white. You can wear white, no problem.
Yeah,
But then you still have to change.
I have a point over here, so especially when a lot of times when people are traveling by bikes, so when they are in the bikes, automatically the pant a little bit goes up, and then your socks is visible. So it is always good to have a socks almost matching with the pant color. Otherwise, if it's completely different, then it looks weird little.
Absolutely, absolutely, you're so right. And also, now I would like to add one more sentence that I know it's in style to wear socks that is only till the ankle, but I think that's to be reserved only for a outing, not for office wear. Okay, try to wear calf length socks. Even if your trousers go up, that's perfectly fine. If it goes up, it will go up a little bit. That's okay, no problem. But you wouldn't want to show your bare skin. You will have to wear socks that is covering your calf. That's important. Thank you so much for your answer. I think that's great. So I just want to continue that white socks. When you're wearing white socks with your casuals, like your khakis or your cargo pants or your chinos or your denims, remember to wear casual shoes as well. So formal shoes and white socks and your casual pants don't go together as well. Okay, just remember this.
Maybe here, ma'am, here maybe it's an additional information which I think you would be knowing. This white socks, basically Michael Jackson uses it for getting attention to his legs so that he can show off his leg movements. So white socks get the attention to the legs rather than to your face. So that's not really recommended, as you are rightly talking about. Thanks.
Yes, actually, yes. Why it is attention seeking there is because suddenly there's a contrast and everyone looks at the contrast, right? So when in an office, when you wear this, it's distracting. You don't want to distract. Actually, you don't want anyone to look at you below your chin. Whether it is a woman or whether it is a man, we say that, you know, wear clothes and people should only be looking at your face. Why should they look at your feet? They shouldn't be. Okay, so nothing distracting. And that's the reason why, actually, now that you talk about it, that's the reason why tie is there. Okay, tie actually is for what? It is to bring in a focal point on your face. Okay, and that's the reason why people wear, you know, they wear a nice button shirt and they wear a tie and then they wear a jacket. And so what's happening is that your face is light, your shirt will be light, your jacket will be dark, and your tie is having a, your vision of the opposite party only travel here, will not travel below. For women, we recommend is wear something like this or something, you know, till here so that the vision actually stop. It's like putting one invisible gate saying this is where you actually look at. Okay, so not recommended to wear long chains because the eyes will recommend it. Okay, so moving on. Gentlemen and their hairstyles. You'll ask me why not, you know, have unkempt hair. Nowadays I'm working from home. It doesn't really matter whether you work from home or whether you work from an office. You need to carry yourself well because sometimes you have got meeting that is on a video conference and your face will be very, very, very visible, right? So you need to carry yourself well. I'll give you just one tip, okay? Ensure that your hair, when it starts touching your earlobes, for gentlemen, if it's touching your earlobes, means time to visit the barber shop, okay? And if you have problems with dandruff, I think that needs to be fixed as well, because if you have dandruff falling on your shirt, especially if you're wearing a dark jacket or a dark shirt, it shows on the shoulders and as well as at the back. And that's, again, not really very healthy. People may not want to come next to you because dandruff also spread from one person to the other. So I think we need to keep our hair and our scalp clean. If you have too much of dandruff issue, you can always you know, get in touch with a dermatologist, or there are so many other tips. When we teach in-depth grooming session, we will be covering on that. Today it's just an overview, okay, because I'm trying to keep in mind the time that we have. Now, for women, there are some lovely ladies here. So please remember that you need to carry yourself well. I won't touch about perspiration. You already know about it. Women, you know, actually are, I think, a little lucky because we get something called armpit pads, which we can actually put under our sari blouses and avoid, you know, perspiration from showing through. If in case you love to wear nail polish, believe me, not bright colors at all for office. Bright colors are good for evenings or when you're going out with your family. Try to wear nude colors. And if you do wear nail polish, please keep it well maintained. You cannot have chipped nail polish. That is not acceptable. Okay. And it's good to take care of your feet. you cannot, have cracked heels. In fact, that also shows that you're not drinking enough water. So, sorry, anyone said something? Okay, you need to keep yourself well hydrated and moisturized. White socks, again, I wouldn't recommend someone to wear something like this. And I spoke about dandruff already. Okay, now, you may not disagree with me on this, but believe me, when it comes to professional hairdo, bun is the most professional one. Okay, you can wear different types of buns. Okay, I've given you 2 samples here. Ponytail, unfortunately, is for children. But if you do want to wear a ponytail, if you look at what I've done in this particular picture, the girl on the bottommost right-hand corner is having a ponytail, but she has put a rubber band, and over that she has taken her hair and wrapped it around the rubber band so that it's formal. So that's how you make a ponytail formal. You can tie it high, you can tie it low. That's not a problem, but you need to wrap your hair around it so that it is not having any kind of distraction. Please keep all those fancy clips and colorful rubber bands for other outings, not for your formal outings, because that's again very distracting. We don't want distraction. Those who find it difficult to manage long hair, please keep it as short as I keep it. It's very easy to maintain, and you don't have to worry too much about braiding your hair or tying a ponytail or tying it into a bun. Okay. Now, who is this lady? Most of us know who she is, right? Who is this lady?
Indira Nooyi.
Yes, she's a very well-respected person. City, right? Yes. Now, when she went on to work in the US, she, is very well respected in that country as well. And if you look at her grooming, if you look at her, whether she's giving an interview or whether she's, in a print, newspaper print, you can just make out that she is very well groomed all the time. Okay, so I'm trying to tell you that you need not be a beauty to look good. It's about carrying yourself well. Your clothes need to be well pressed and ironed, and it should go along with your skin color and your body shape and your profession, and your hair needs to be neat. You can wear a simple watch. You can wear some jewelry, as I told you earlier. Men wearing too much of jewelry is not recommended. There is something called a 5-piece rule when it comes to jewelry. This is for men and women. Okay, so you can, if you wear a watch, that gets counted as 1. For women, earrings is counted as 2. So earring and a watch is 3 already gone. You can wear just 2 more sets of pieces of jewelry. So men, please remember, too many jewelry on men is not considered good. I know in our country we wear a lot of chains, but I think it should be kept in your shirt. You don't need to wear too many chains. You can just wear 1. But generally, men wearing too many jewelry is not considered well groomed. Okay. Now, I've shown a picture of a man who is dressed very neat over here. If you look at it, he's dressed very simple, but at the same time, he's looking very confident. He's very positive. He's got stylish but short hair, and you can keep a beard, no problem in that. This person is clean shaved. He's got a warm smile, and he's got a great body language. Okay, now the question is, whenever you get ready and when you would like to go out of your house, even if it is to buy a grocery, just look into the mirror and say, does my image work for me today, or does it work against me? What do I look like today? What is the message I'm conveying today? Do I look positive? Do I look confident? Do I look approachable? Do I look credible? Remember all those messages? Just have a look at the mirror, and if you start practicing this, I'm telling you, you will be feeling more confident as the days go by. And I always recommend to have a full-length mirror, because that's when you can actually see your complete body language. Okay, does your image work for you, or does it work against you? Okay, so what I actually call all of this is our visual resume. Okay, we all have something called a biodata or a resume which talks about our achievements, our qualifications, our work experience, and any of our hobbies, etc. Let's say I go to a resume making expert and they write a great resume for me, and I said give it across, and when I open my mouth, I'm not able to convey what is written there because someone else has written there. My resume looked really great, so I got selected. But when I sit across, I am unable to meet my paper resume. My visual resume is not matching my paper resume. So what happens then? You may have a chance of losing out on the interview or for a meeting. So always remember that you need to look who you say you are. Okay, that's very, very important. That's what I was talking about just now. Your personal appearance is your visual resume, and your personal presentation. When you open your mouth, you should also sound knowledgeable, credible, approachable, reliable. Okay, you need to have your personal presentation and personal appearance both need to be going together. It's very, very important. You can never think that I have the knowledge, I can dress the way I want. No, it's not right. If I take the effort to come dressed very well and sit because I respect the people who's going to come to listen to me. Okay, the same way I can see most of you dressed up in formal. It's amazing to see that. That's one thing I love about Rotary. Everyone respects and they dress up so well. Though it's a casual meeting or it's a formal meeting, I see everyone dressed up really, really well. And that's very important because you respect yourself and you respect the other person who's sitting across you. Okay, now I hope I haven't gone too fast. In case I have gone too fast, we will definitely catch up during the question and answer session because see, I love to talk about my topic. Okay, here are some of the tips that I thought you know on the art of grooming. Please remember, always should work. And believe me, if you don't have complete knowledge in your interview, and if you don't know all the answers, but you are qualified, and that's why you're sitting there, right, for the interview. You have checkmarked all the pre-requirements HR person needed when they were looking for a person, and that's why your resume or your biodata matched, and you've been called to the place for an interview. But if you don't know all the answers, that's fine. Remember, organizations will train you because you have the basic knowledge. You have the basic experience that they're looking for. Okay, so if you have a positive attitude and if you have a I can learn attitude and I gel well with the company's culture attitude, then what happens is they would prefer to hire you than have a person who's got excellent knowledge, excellent experience, and bad attitude. Okay, the first and most important thing for anyone is to have a great attitude. You need to dress well, you need to groom well, you need to have great mannerisms and etiquette, and it's always good not to be too grumpy. Have a good sense of humor. Don't be so serious all the time because people don't want to be around people who are all the time serious and grumpy. Okay, and also please understand, you need to believe yourself. You are at a certain place because you have reached that place after a lot of hard work. So believe in yourself. God has blessed you with so many talents, so many qualities. If you start focusing on just that, that's enough. You don't need to be like someone else. Okay, so self-grooming is important. 2-3 times I heard people saying about smile, so that's very, very important. Okay, I will play an audio, play a video. One second, I'm just going to play a video now. I want you to just see this video and we will talk about this video at the end of it. Okay.
Carlos Foro, Birotang Miswat Tachuchkani Romatria Netna Lawi Tadi Sumaunawada.
When you saw this video, okay, when you saw this video, you saw a little girl who's 6 years old standing by the street, and she's dressed up really well, and everyone wants to know why she's standing alone, where her parents are, and they're very concerned about her, right? At the same time, when she's not very well dressed, clothes that, you know, they made her look more like, you know, a child who's begging, you know, who's standing there, no one really looked at her. See how human beings are. I'm trying to tell the importance of discipline and grooming here. Okay, that's how we all know. It doesn't matter whether we are brought up differently. We don't really notice. We don't even see the child sometimes. But if the child is well dressed, we are concerned. Oh, looks like she's lost. Or what happened to her? The same way when she goes into the restaurant, what happens there? When she's dressed up very well, people wouldn't mind offering her a chair to sit, giving her some food, something to eat. But on the other hand, if she's not dressed very well, you saw there's a lady who even tries to take her bag and keep it on the other side, thinking that maybe she's going to steal something from her bag. Okay, and I think in the end, one person even asks the wait staff to escort the child out or take her out of the restaurant. Okay, so this is how we are. We are made that way. Okay, we need to understand that grooming is so important, and each of us need to spend time to give ourselves a better groomed self. We need to love ourselves and take care of ourselves. That's very, very important. Okay, I know that grooming is the last priority for most of us. Just on the same day we are leaving somewhere, we will start looking around for things and grooming ourselves and getting our clothes. That's wrong. Ready every time, be prepared and go out after checking, does your image work for you or does it work against you? Okay. Now, that brings an end to my session. I hope I haven't rushed through President Reggie and President Ramesh. I tried to bring in as much as I could into this short session. Thank you so much. Now, if anyone has any question, I would love to take the question.
Any questions, you could chat the question if you want. If you're not comfortable asking the questions, you could write down in the chat box. I'll read it out for Ms. Asha to answer your questions. Or if you...
Madam, I have a question. This is Ramesh here.
Yeah, I have the chat seen now. Sorry, I just, my brain suddenly, realized I can just click on chat. Yes, please ask your question, President Ramesh.
Yeah. See, it was a beautiful session, a lot of information, and we from corporate have also been very clearly told that we need to follow all these things. But with the latest advent of IT industry and with the latest new generation saying that dress doesn't really matter, even if you go to, I have seen people in some of these BPOs coming with Bermudas and bathroom slippers, chipples. I mean, such a big industry, India, IT industry, and that is yielding to this casual dressing. What is your views on that, ma'am?
It's a wonderful point that you made. You won't believe it. I can't name the organization. There's this organization who I was invited to groom in the year 2015. Okay? This organization started out by saying that dressing doesn't really matter. You can even come in bathroom chappals, and you won't believe it. People would just walk out of their bed because they even provided dormitory facility in their facility where the office is located. So people could just walk in from the dormitory to the office, and believe me, year two they thought it's fine. But as the years went by, the company was growing, and they realized that the casual attitude actually started showing in their work and in the way they were dealing with their clients, the way way they were dealing with their customers. And that's when I was told specifically that I need to have a half-day session on personal grooming, hygiene, and how to carry oneself. Casual clothes, as you said, many youngsters are doing it, especially the IT industry, especially coming from the US. Okay, you will never find a European dressing up casually. They're impeccable in their dressing. Okay, now even if you look at a Mark Zuckerberg, or when it was Steve Jobs when he was alive, he was seen mostly in round necks or casual t-shirts. But when they have to go for an important meeting, believe me, they wear a suit. Okay, I am not having that picture on this laptop. I did not anticipate this question, but I do have pictures of them attending important meetings and investor sessions where they go carrying themselves in a suit. And also, they've reached a certain stage that people are respected. When these youngsters reach a stage, and if I reach a stage, and if you still dress casually, maybe you will be taken, you'll be considered. But otherwise, I don't think so. Youngsters should understand, all the more when they're starting their career, please don't do that. You should never do that.
Just to carry through.
Rameshji, I would like to add on one thing. My cousin, when he got his first job and when he came down to Chennai here, he was here for like the initial 1 week he was here in Chennai. And believe me, the HR had given instruction to the security guard, his office was in Thuraipakkam, that in case a person comes wearing loud colored shirt and t-shirts or casual shoes, the security guard had the authority to ask the person to go back home and mark them leave. And that is an IT company, one of the biggest giants in our country, stemmed from Tamil Nadu. Okay, so I think youngsters need to understand that you need to be grooming yourself very well. You can keep your casual clothes for a outing, and you should have some difference between office wear and your home wear, right? You cannot always be seen the same way, right?
And just to carry on where our President, Mr. Ramesh, has left, just a diametrically opposite point. As a young boy, I used to see my father always wearing a full sleeve, white sleeve shirt and a dark pant and a dark tie. I was amazed. After many years, I asked him the question because he never believed in teaching me. He wanted me to observe. I asked him, what's the fun in wearing this? He says, when I go in this dress, my dress is taken for granted. They expect me to come in a white shirt. They've already seen that. They expect me to come in a dark pant. They've seen that. Tie, shirt or pant does not attract them. What they want to then hear is what I have to say. The minute I have the attention of making them listen to me when my dress is decent but not glamorous or attractive, my business is done. He says business is always done with a good presence, good decent dress code, which makes the opposite person start listening to you. The very listening comes only when people do have a dress code. And these have been winners for marketing people. Because he says with that, I'll be able to bargain into any sort of a situation and come out of it successful. So what I learned was an attire, a dress sense, which is going with your profession. And as Ramesh said, we are all from the corporate. We have a way of dressing. Even for Rotary, as you rightly mentioned, we come in corporate and forwards. It's become a way of life. Because when we see others seeing us, I think we need to be more presentable. This is an observation which I have to make, and it just adds on to what you have to say, because at a certain point of time, casual dressing, people are also taken for granted. The seriousness is lost. And
absolutely, you're so right. Your dad is absolutely right when he said that he can do his business in a better manner just by the way he's carrying himself, the way he's dressed. Okay, do you know why he's wearing dark pants, white shirt, and dark tie? Why?
Dark pant does not attract anything. White shirt is just a contrast to see that there is some real contrast. And a dark tie, that is not so attractive, but that's the only point of attraction where he wears different types of ties to just go with the color. And I think probably this black-white combination is probably the only combination which doesn't attract your dress sense in the opposite partner. Any color shirt automatically takes you, if it's an yellow, what is so great about this yellow? Your attention gets diverted. Yes. Black and white does not have the power of digressing you from the main subject.
Good. That's a very good observation. Absolutely right. I would like to add on to that by saying that, dark, your eyes never really go towards the dark. So when you're wearing something light, your eyes only travels to the light. Okay. And when you wear a tie, again, it's a focal point. It's a dark tie his father was wearing. So what happens is your focus is only on the face. He's a smart man, I must say. And definitely, yes, he would have been greatly successful in his life. Thank you so much. And next question, please.
I have a question over here, here.
Yes.
So one thing is that, okay, we talked about all the corporate image and then corporate, how you groom yourself. But again, something which I also wanted to look into is that the way we groom people at home, I think even the housewives or even the Indian women or Indian men outside of the office, that also matters. And can you throw a little more light on that?
Outside the office and in the sense?
Yeah, outside the office in the sense how they present I think women, how they present themselves. Okay, whether they're in a nice churidar or basically in a nice sari or whatever dress they are going to be wearing, not necessarily for the official purpose. But again, so people are also making impressions not on the official basis, but the other side. So, and then I just want you to quickly touch upon that as well. So it's not always the office that matters. The outside of office also matters.
Okay, I will just, it's such an interesting point you mentioned, Subbu. See, please understand that your image is social, professional, and personal. Okay, so you need to be well-groomed and carrying yourself well all the time, even when you're sitting in the house. Please understand that. You won't believe it. There was this client who used to visit me years ago in 2014 from Salem. He used to come down to Chennai to take sessions from me twice a month. And one of the points that he had was that his children, they had reached their teenage and they were not respecting him. And of course, I always do an analysis first, and I found out that it was his grooming and the way he carried himself. So what happens is, even in your own home, if you are not keeping yourself well, you don't even comb your hair, you don't brush your teeth, you don't wear proper clothes, you're still roaming around in your night dress, believe me, even your children will not respect you. Okay. So I think it's very important that we women also, we are, role models for our children. And we need to understand that if we carry ourselves well, please remember that children mirror our action, mirror our ways, and that's what is very important. Let's say you're going out. I have seen people, believe me, I can never understand why. They wear their night dress and they come out and even go up to school on a two-wheeler and drop their children. I think that's something which I don't generally feel is good. We can take the effort to just get into something better and step out, right? I think it's not a big deal to just wear something better and just comb our hair and just go. We don't have to show that we're always hard pressed for time. We are always busy in the kitchen, no time to wash our face, no time to even change our clothes. No, it's not true. It is not true. I have never had a maid in my house. I've always been working. Okay, it's only now since 2012. I have my own consulting firm. I've always worked in corporates. I used to get up early. I used to do everything. So it's impossible if I hear someone say, I don't have the time to comb my hair or change my clothes, ma'am. No, I will not believe it. So you're right. Women need to carry themselves too. They need not only dress up well when they're going out to a get together or for a movie or when they're going to a friend's house. No, you can always carry yourself well. Wear the simplest of the simplest clothes. Don't have to wear expensive clothes. Have I answered your question, Subbu?
Definitely, yeah.
I have one point here. Even nowadays, media is playing a major role in breaking this culture, or attire, corporate culture. All this.
It's very beautiful. We have a lovely attire, the sari, right? Like my mom even now wears saris at home. And this casual kind of clothing, which is actually not very acceptable, doesn't come from our culture, to be very honest. And when we wear these nighties and roam around outside our house, I think that is something which is talking very poor about ourselves. We shouldn't be doing that, men or women, for that matter. Okay, yeah.
Okay, so in the interest of time, so can we have a last question?
Sir, I have a question.
Sure.
Yeah. Ma'am, it's about my neighbor. He was having an Alto that he was driving to his office daily.
May I request everyone to just mute yourselves except the person who's asking me the question. Just give me your name before you ask the question so that I can
It's Yogesh.
respond.
It's Yogesh, ma'am. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, ma'am.
I can hear you.
Yeah, it was my neighbor. He is having an Alto vehicle. He will go to his office by that vehicle. Every day he go. Yeah, but in a few months he bought a new car. He bought a Jeep vehicle, and he said that I'm meeting new people. He's saying that meeting big people, so I need to change my car. He said that's about grooming myself. He said he will only go by himself, by one man. He's wasting petrols. I thought that why is that vehicle change? You can go in your Alto itself. That's not a big issue. Why you are changing your vehicle? That's not a grooming. He did not understand that. He's saying that if I meet, he's saying like that. பெரிய பெரிய ஆளுங்கள் பார்க்கும்போது நான் அந்த ரெஸ்பெக்ட்ல நான் அந்த கார்ல தான் போனாதான் ரெஸ்பெக்டா இருக்கும். Alto is thinking that Alto is a local car. That's what my doubt, ma'am.
Okay. See, actually, it's very interesting that you asked me this question. I don't know what the gentleman's business is. Okay. But there are people who are dealing with clientele which are of very, very high level. And sometimes maybe they have to take them out for a lunch, or they have to, go pick up the client and take them for the next meeting venue. Yeah. So maybe, I do not know about this client, your neighbor's background, but I would like to tell you that maybe that's the reason why he wants to carry a vehicle which is probably far more presentable, that makes him look more credible. He feels that it makes him look more credible. Okay. Whereas I know at the same time, I know a businessman who's a good friend of mine who has an Audi car as well as a Nano. Can you believe it? Yeah. Okay. He travels, he says, Nano, when he comes home to visit me, he says, I love this Nano because it's just like an auto. I can turn it very fast. Whereas we have to, reverse, and you have to go ahead and make a turn. So it depends on each person. But yes, even he, when he's going to a very high level client meeting, he goes in his Audi. And otherwise, for general meetings, for going for general programs, even for our Rotary functions, he comes in a Nano, and that's perfectly fine.
So I have a question. Can I ask, please?
Yeah. One second. There's a question by Mr. Palaniyappan from IT City.
Yeah.
He says, climate is hot, hotter and hotter. Yes, tell me about it. That's the only thing I don't like about Chennai, okay? And European attire will suit us. Actually, it's not only European attire. I would even say denims is not for our weather at all. Jeans is something which is not for us. I will tell you the jeans story if time permits. But before that, I come back to this European attire. You can go for fabric. In fact, if you looked at when Ramesh introduced me, he spoke about me being a part of an organization called WICI. Okay, WICI is Women Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industries. I am a part of a chapter for the weavers, the weaving community across India. So what we recommend and we introduce is to buy our own fabric, which is breathable fabric. So you can style your shirts, you can tailor make your shirts in pure cotton, you can make them in linen, you can make them in fabric that is suitable for our weather. You don't have to dress up in the European material at all. In fact, we recommend people to go for our own fabric and our own, material. That's perfectly fine. Does that answer your question?
No. By wearing a suit, that is overcoat, does it not perspire?
Yes, it does. It does. You know what? I wear a suit only if I have to sit in an air-conditioned hall. Otherwise, no, I don't because I don't want to be cooked, right? But even in the jackets, you can get something called summer jacket, okay, which is again breathable and light fabric, which will not really make you feel very hot.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome. Sorry, someone else was asking when I took this question. Who was that?
I think same person. I think the Palaniyappan only.
Thank you. I didn't want to miss this important question. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask.
What is good, ma'am?
See, I have an evening which is left free to me. I don't want to keep you away from your evening activities.
What is power dressing?
So, if there are no further questions.
No, we have a question from Ms. Gunavati. What is power dressing?
Yes, there is power dressing. I haven't talked about power dressing. It's one of my favorite topics, Gunavati. Power dressing is nothing but, dressing. See, each of us carry our own power, right? Like the gentleman earlier spoke about his dad. What was he doing actually? That is power dressing. He was actually showing the power that he has in him, which is his knowledge, which is his experience. He's showing that power across in his clothing, that before even he actually opens his mouth, he's already made an impression. So power dressing in detail, I cannot take a session right now. But one of the places, carrying a light and dark shade contrast is a power dressing. That is one power dressing. Wearing a third layer is power dressing. Okay. Carrying a smart haircut or tying it up in a nice bun is power dressing. A lot of things come under power dressing.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's been really wonderful and also entertaining session with so much of participation. And also you really made everyone to be glued onto the screen with both audio and visual. So that's great. Thank you very much for this one. So I think probably if we leave, it may go for another half an hour or 1 hour as well, because the interest levels are so high. And she only touched the tip of the iceberg, if you look into, so because for the paucity of time, so it could be almost a 2-day course or something in terms of completely talking about the grooming and different styles. So thank you very much, and thank you very much for your time, and also entertaining us with this topic, and most educated topic as well. So now let me now invite upon Mr. Venkateswaran for a vote of thanks. Rotarian Venkateswaran.
Thank you, Club Director Sir, Subramaniam Sir. I am very happy that my good friend Reggie has invited us to this wonderful session. It just went on like Shatabdi Express. We were not allowed to think. It just went on and on. We never had a time to think. We were made to think, but we had never had time to go deep into the subject. Probably we need to go deep into the subject. Some of the salient points I have noted down. And this is something which everybody needs to know. My father used to say, man is only 50% of what he is. 50% is knowledge. 50% is the way you look, where the other people look. So appearance makes everything. And absolutely. In fact, I was trying to tell in English because Tamil is another impressive workum, but for the benefit of others, I translated that into this. So wonderful session on grooming, because ultimately everything rolls around the way you look and way the others look at you, the type of positivity that you bring, the smile on your face, exuding confidence, being of help to others, extending your help to others to see that it is visibly seen. Tell me what's your problem. I'll be able to sort it out for you. You seem to be in a problem. Open it out. These things are more important than what you exactly look, but looking is very important. 50% of grooming, a person's success depends on grooming. I'm convinced about that. And this being my favorite subject, I'm happy I was called for attending your session, and I picked up a lot of new points about what you had to say. Excellent session, I would say. In fact, I think this should go to the other clubs also. I'm thankful to Reggie for inviting us for this session, and I'm thankful to our members who were able to come and actively participate. And I must thank Ramesh for tying up with Reggie for coming over. And finally, of course, to you, madam. Your session was brilliant. And there's a lot of takeaway that we need to think over, because these are things which people do not give really an importance. If they start giving the importance, then they'll see the importance of how it can make a vast difference in their career. I'm happy you touched upon the subject, and I'm happy that there was somebody to look at this sort of a subject. Thanks to Reggie, my co-secretary Raghunathan, and club director. And I'm also very happy that our club director Satyanarayana was also here along with my president to be a part of this wonderful session. Thanks once again to you. It was great.
Yeah, thank you very much, Venkateswaran. So let's now raise for national anthem, please.
Yeah.
1 minute. Sorry,
Yeah.
I think there's a person who's asking a question here. I'm sorry. One Arush has asked a question about school uniform. I'll quickly answer. Yes, school uniforms sometimes can play with the individuality and identity, but please remember that school uniform is brought into schools for a purpose, especially in our country where there are people who have come from different backgrounds and they may not be able to afford a lot of expensive clothes. And to make that not be the focus in the school is the reason why they bring in a uniform, because otherwise kids will start focusing on clothing and all their gadgets or the shoes or socks or whatever. That's not the importance in school. It is for knowledge, and that's the only reason why there is a uniform. I'm so sorry. Yes, we can write for the national anthem. Sorry, Reggie. Sorry.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for taking your precious time, ma'am.
Incidentally, Arush is our Anit.
Thank you so much, Arush, for your question. Very important question. But those of you who would like to get in touch with me later and ask questions, you can always take my number from either President Ramesh or President Reggie. They will be able to connect you. Okay?
Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much, madam. So, and let's now raise for the next man.
Yes.